ja läksimegi siit ka eetrisse. Olen siin praegust ootamas Annika Meitern, kes on ka Accessi vahendeid palju kasutanud. We have Nicole who came participate. Welcome. And then we have Kalpana coming. Hooray! Here we are. And now we start to speak. Hello, beautiful. There you are. I open you. Yes, here.
Hello.
Hello, Kalpana.
Hey, hi, Kaidi. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello.
Hi, we have people coming and joining all the time, so we can start, and also Facebook stream have started.
I see it. Awesome.
So Kerti is translating into Estonian. You can find this translation link here. And I'm so happy to have you here, Kalpana.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me for this chat on bodies.
Yeah, and I know that we have also many people who don't know, who are curious about bodies and curious about body magic, because you're coming to Estonia at the end of January. And how did we get so lucky?
Me too.
And like you said in the beginning, when we started to chat a couple of months ago, Estonia is calling, Estonia is calling. So what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, you know, I travel before Corona at least a lot all over the world. And I get invited to many places, but I don't go everywhere. I literally ask for the energy and then I connect with the land. And it's not like, okay, should I come or should I not come? It's not like that way. It's more like, oh, wow, it's really light. It's expansive. It's time. And when you invited me, we know each other a long time, but when you invited me, something opened up and we said, okay, let's see when, right? A few months ago, we had just a chat about, because Estonia was in my awareness and we connected. And then when you asked me like, hey, do you want to come then and then? My whole body lit up and I was so aware of the land, of the entities of the land, of that, because body work is not just for our own body. Body work is also a contribution to the earth, of this planet Earth.
I know that we have many people who don't know what is it you're talking about. What body magic? What is this? And I know that many people have seen from far that we do body work. They have seen how I do classes. We do in Access Consciousness body processes. And the class coming up, we have a lot of body processes, what we learn or say remember again. And people see that we hold and touching bodies. And they say, well, there is nothing special with this. I can hold hands. And why should I come to class? Or what is happening really when we're touching bodies?
It's really great what you're saying, because if you look at when we use the word magic, it's a lot of times something that happens so easily, right? Like, oh, magically this and this happened. It's like by magic is already referring to an ease and a speed. Now, this is actually exactly what occurs with body processes. You do something super simple, which is just put your hands on somebody's body, and then things start to get activated, things start to leave the body, things start to get restored, things start to change. And it's that simple. It is that magical. It's literally the ease of it and the non-effort of it is what makes it magic. And even last night, I was giving a body process to my husband. And when I was doing the back of his, on his back, on his kidneys, it was like, you know, like a lot of, it's like all the molecules are moving and cannot explain it, but it's like there's all this activity. And that's what he said. He's like, wow, there's a lot of activity. And am I doing something? No, but I'm basically, you put your hands on the body and you say a name of a process, and it's like the body knows what that is and it does what is required. imagine that you would have a car and you say, like, you know, this old TV program, what was it called, with David Hasselhoff with this cool car, with this black car, and then he would say something and the car would talk to him and the car would take him. He wouldn't be driving and changing gears. What if your body is that way? You ask it and then the body responds. And that is actually what is also occurring with the body process. We give it a body process and then the body goes, okay, I'm off with it and I'm going to do what is required. And so this is the magic part of it. It's actually simple. And we've learned that change has to be difficult, especially with bodies. It has to take time. It has to be complicated. It's probably painful. And if you have to eat medicine, it's disgusting. What if none of that is true? Or what if none of that has to be true?
Yeah, we're creating everything ourselves.
Yeah, and our bodies can show us a different way. And with body magic that occurs with body processes, the body does the work. We are like a piano. You know, when you play the piano, you're pressing. The sound is not coming because I did something specifically that I'm touching and the piano is making the music. And so we're touching and the body is doing the work, you know, is creating the change.
And this is really what I have also seen, that people, like in Estonia, probably, I don't know how it is in your country. In Estonia, many people have learned to do something, to change something. It's not only doing, it's first of being.
Yes.
And when we touch, I wanted to ask you about the touch. We talk a lot about touching soul, touching heart, touching bodies, touch. And what I have seen lately during like last month, bodies are really requiring touch, and how much this is by touching, just by hi, or hi, how are you?
Yeah.
This is like more required for bodies than food. Like I said to you some days ago, I realized how much this touch is healing, just this simple touch.
Yeah.
And how, what if this magic can really, I mean, the simple thing also for all people who are watching right now, that we, even now, without attending a body class, we can start to just touch people and touch yourself. What can heal so much and create change. So touching, what do you know about touching, Kalpana?
Well, I think that we have learned a lot of things about touch because there's children touch every part of their body without anything being right or wrong, and they touch any part of anybody else's body at any time of anybody. They don't need, a baby doesn't go, do I know you, do I like you, does my family like you, are we friends? No, it just goes, hey, right? There's this no barrier, no mind. And then we start to go like, no, don't touch that part of your body, or not in front of people, you cannot open your legs, or, you know, there's all this mind and thought that gets entered into it. And then suddenly the way we are with our body, including with the touching of our or any body, becomes very thoughtful and very mind, like from the mind, and it gets like interfered, right? What occurs is that we actually disconnect from something that is so natural to us because we add thought to it. And in a way, what we're inviting to is like, what if you take that thought out of it again and you allow the body to be that organism of change, of information, of transformation? Because that's what touch does. If a baby touches your cheek, I mean, I don't think there's much better in life than that, right? It's like, oh, you melt because there's no judgment, there's this caring, there is this presence. And I would say, and we were talking about that the other day also in our chat, like now we are not touching because all this corona schmarona stuff. How much more do you realize, oh my God, even if you're not a touchy person, you become touchy, you know, because you're like, oh, I miss this. I know a lot of people who say, my mother used to hate touch and hugging, and now she's like asking me to hug her, you know, because it's like suddenly deprived, and we realize this is what is part of us being here in a body, like touching, and transforms so much. The touch, if you look at the old stories, I mean, even Jesus, like he touched somebody and something changes. Was it because of his Jesus, or was it because he was being willing to have the gift of embodiment, and that touch being that contribution, whatever that would be? And this is Yeah, and this is the gift of touching with no agenda, with no obligation, with no judgment, with total presence and kindness.
Awesome. I love this. You're coming from the family who have been involved a lot with dancing and body movement, so you know a lot about this. And when I have seen your films and you dancing, like you everybody knows when you really dance, you don't think, you let your body move, and this is the like trust of your body. Also, we will talk much about trusting your body and trusting. And when I realized one day that my body can show me things, show me the way, show me the impossibilities, what I can think is impossible.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
really, I mean, something. Just trust what your body is telling you and showing the way, and being, just follow this. And you have been dancing all your life, this lifetime at least. And you know about it. And Kalpana, you are coming to Estonia end of January, and we gonna have body class, 3-day body class. We have a lot of body processes. How many body processes are in this manual?
I mean, there are more than 50, and they get basically, like everything in Access, nothing is like, this is the Bible, and now we will do this for all eternity. Like, they change, they adjust, so we have processes, and some of them have been run in the world so many times in a way that that energy has changed. And so some processes leave the book. They're still available and you can still run them, but they're not in the main book. Now we have about 55 processes in the book, and many of them used to be in the advanced body class and have come now into the 3-day body class, let's say the normal body class. And they are all processes that you can give to yourself or you can give to somebody else. And they are very powerful.
Awesome. And I would love to hear, what is your favorite? Do you have any favorite process?
Oh, no, I don't really have. I have so many that I love, but there's one that I have been busy with a lot since the past few weeks, is the desertification process. It's a process that is about desertification, and it's the desertification is basically a phenomenon where in the agriculture on the soil, when there is no, that the earth becomes like dust, that there's too much, basically the idea was that there were too many, the animals were eating all the land and it was becoming like a desert. And then they realized, like, no, actually this interaction of the animals not being too much too long on the earth, and then actually being there and having their hooves on the earth and interacting, allowing the green of the earth to open up to receive the carbon and absorb the carbon, allows the earth to stay green. Now, this is something that has been happening on this earth for, unfortunately, a lot. And so we have a lot of healthy land turning into desert and people having to move because they cannot have food there anymore. And it's literally creating like refugees because they're not able to create agriculture, right, and have food. But this has also been happening with our body. Like, we've been desertifying our body, and our body and the body of the earth are connected. Now, this might be like, what are you talking about? But we are aware beings, and our body and the earth's body is connected because we're all made of the same stuff. And the biodiversity that you see on the earth is also the biodiversity that's actually happening, the flora and the fauna in your body. So there's a big connection. There's a lot of, if you look at Chinese philosophy, they say the macrocosm and the microcosm are connected. The outside world and the inside world are connected. It's all coming back to, hey, that earth and this earth, that body and this body are one body. And so when we work, the desertification process works a lot on different aspects for me about being connected to that and actually allowing my body to be this healthy flora, fauna, vibrant space.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's one of the processes that I'm at this moment tend to be running a lot. But it's like the thing with the body process also in the class is that there is not a logic. Some body process will come like, oh, this one is what the body is asking for. And you might be saying, oh, this person has a headache, and it comes something about perfectionism, and you're like, huh? Or the future. It's not a logical thing, but it works because it's energy. And a lot of the things that we create with our body is connected to some choice, some point of view, some judgment, something from the past that even doesn't have anything to do with us, something with our family. And so the body process, in a way, without all that analysis and mind stuff, just lasers through it and does its magic.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
When I hear you, then my body get happy because in some point we look into the world and we seems like, oh my God, it's going like worse. But when we talk about it, there is a possibility with body processes to change this. It's like my body get like blooming again, like
yeah. How much does your body go, yes, this is what I desire? It's like your body knows. Maybe here we don't get it or we don't know it, but our body's like, I don't care about your mind, I know, give it to me.
Give me now.
Yes. And your question, is it possible to gift all the processes in the manual to yourself? Yes. And this is something I do, like when I go to sleep or when I'm traveling, I just put, or even I'm watching some TV, I can just put my hands on my body, because the body processes, many of them have specific positions, not all of them, or I have some discomfort and I just, so it's super practical and easy. You say the process in your head and it just runs. And if you say, receiving it from somebody else is always more dynamic, just like a massage, which is like, you can massage yourself, but somebody massaging you is just so much nicer. And even if you say, oh, but there's nobody here who can do it, if you have a child or a friend or a husband or a wife or boyfriend, you can even ask them to just put their hands on the body and you just read the process and the magic occurs. So it's super nice to have it run on you. You cannot you can, in a way, but when you gift to somebody, you receive. So when I'm gifting, like Kaidi, a session, that it's not like I'm only giving, I'm gifting. So there's this cycle of energy moving, and this is the awesome thing of all the access consciousness body work. Whenever you're gifting a session, you receive change. So this is like amazing. It's like, oh my God, somebody's here for a session, they're paying me and I'm getting change too. How does it get any better?
Exactly. And as fast we come out from the mind, I see how much, and I perceive how much our bodies are communicating right here.
Yeah.
How are we communicating without like understanding this, but this like giggling in the body, like what?
Yeah.
I have got many questions around this. Why do we have or must have this prerequisite to attend foundation before body?
Yeah, great question. Well, in the foundation class, you open up to, we have like 4 body processes in the foundation class, and all of us run the same process at the same time. It's like at a certain moment we go, okay, we're going to run this process, and everybody's receiving. Now, your body starts to receive a certain energy. Your body starts to open up to that. And since everybody's running it, you're basically all receiving also from each other. So in that 4 days of foundation class, your body and your system, let's say, starts to open up to a level of receiving that we haven't really learned that we can have, because this reality, this world, it's all about giving to people, right? And oh yeah, if I have 5 minutes for myself, I'll give time to myself. But it's all about doing and giving and putting yourself out last. With that opening up of receiving in the foundation class, if you would go to the body class and you go to the body class, now we are running all processes not at the same time, the same one, because my neighbor will have a process A and the other lady has process B and I have process C. Now, that does it mean that I only receive process C? No, I will receive from the other bodies, right? You'll receive all the body process that are running. If you had not done the foundation class, it's going to be a lot of receiving, which is like, in a way, not kind to the body. So it's literally where we open the body up to receiving a foundation so that we can go to even more receiving in the body class. And so this receiving is something that is really one of the main things in Access. Everything is about increasing your receiving so that you can be greater, and you can be a greater contribution, and you can be more in communion, and you can be creating a greater future. And so in the foundation class, this opening up of receiving then allows you to receive even more in the 3-day body class without, let's say, overriding your body into too much. Like chocolate is nice, but eating 5 boxes of chocolate, not so nice. Something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kalpana, do you have any simple tool or something? But people in Estonia, we have a lot of a lot of rules and regulations about this this thing, what's going on in the world. Anything what people can do already now with the bodies to create more connection?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big great things is that you have you and you have your body. So one thing would be like actually including your body more in the choices, as simple as, hey, do you want a cup of tea, or do I think I should have a cup of tea because it's 10 a.m.? Like actually asking and looking where you are on automatic pilot with your body. Like, oh, what is that? And then how do you know? Your body will respond. It will be like, oh, that made me happy, or that's relaxing, or that's light. That's a way for you to know, okay, that's a yes for my body. The other thing that I feel now with all this social distancing and confinement is actually going out into nature. And I know you guys have amazing land there. If you can just even go out and stand on the earth without your shoes and your socks and just be present with the earth, it's a huge contribution to your body. Actually, a huge how can I say that, anti-inflammatory activity, because discomfort in the body creates inflammation in our in any part of our body. And actually being present with the earth like that allows that interaction between the earth and our body to occur, which allows the inflammation to decrease. And so with all this non-touching, what if you can be touched by the earth by just standing? And I literally, like, I live in an apartment, I don't have a garden, but we have a park here that I never noticed. I mean, it's there. I used to bike, I bike a lot, and I'd be like, oh yeah, it never used to connect. And then a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, there's a really big patch of green land. I just went and I had gone shopping. I took off my shoes and I put off my socks and I just stood there enjoying the earth. And this is something, and maybe you like hiking, or maybe you like walking, or maybe you like biking. What if you can allow your body to be present with the nature during these days more? You might already be doing it, and from a presence, like not with my phone when I'm going for a walk, but like actually giving myself a moment and like, okay, everybody will still be there when I'm done with my walk. It's okay. I can give myself an hour, right? Like giving yourself an hour a day or an hour a week, even if that works for you better, or a few hours, but like making time for you and your body, basically, which is something that we forget. We, especially now, everything is so digital with the computer and with the phone, and nothing, and the interaction with people is so distant. What presence with your body can you actually start to choose that will create more ease with all this that's happening in the world?
Yeah. And I just wonder, what will the world and Earth and the future be like when we, let's say, all humanity, all the people in the world, just increase the presence on 1%.
Yeah, totally. And I would say for me, that's one of the gifts of of this pandemic, is like how many people have been waking up and going, okay, something's got to change. This is not working. Or what is the earth telling us now? And so this is a big wake up call, and not from a drama, but from a, okay, what can we choose now? And so if people more and more get present with their own body and with the earth, I mean, it will become a whole different reality on earth that we can create. And like I said, I used to travel a lot, and then I had a body class in March in Switzerland, and then as I flew back, it was like the confinement started, so it was like just in time before before the confinement. And then I didn't do a body classes till the end of August. And end of August, I did my first body class again in Paris. And it was amazing how my hosts and me, we literally could perceive that not just the bodies in that class, but like it was like all the bodies. Wow, this energy is running. Because when you run a body process, there's an energy that is running in your body, the person who's receiving, in the body who's gifting, but it's also running in the world, like it's running, right? And I could perceive like how it was opening up to other bodies. And that's become really clear because since end of August, I've been giving a few body classes, and every class I'm like, wow, what is this contributing? So what can you also contribute by choosing your body? By literally choosing and including your body and these body processes.
Yeah, I think I have done like 3 or 4 body classes.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I've attended this exponentialized receiving, I just perceive this is everything is changed. It's like just holding 3 days hands on somebody's body, or somebody holds hands on my body. Usually like nothing is the same after those 3 days.
Exactly.
Everything I touch, everything I say, everything I'm choosing.
Yeah.
It's totally like new world, totally new world.
Yeah, totally. And Nikki, who's here, she was in a body class in Prague with me, and then she was just in a body class in Istanbul with me. And I know she was saying the same. She was like, oh my God, everything's changing. It's like, you think it's just for the body, but the body is part of every part of your life. Can be your relationship, can be your business, can be your creations, can be your friendships. Body, like life and body is everywhere. So when you do a body class, it literally opens up everywhere. So cool.
And I think it was you, Mary, who said that if you don't have a body, then why do you live here?
Yeah, you can't receive anything without a body.
Exactly. And body really requires money, and asking for money. This is also another part. And the joy, how much joy opens up. I mean, really just this space of joy.
Totally.
I'm
Yes.
I'm so grateful, and I'm really excited. I'm waiting for this end of the January, where the new life with bodies can start, another life, another expansion,
Exactly.
step of this big expansion.
Exactly. And I love what Nikki wrote. She wrote, more communion with body, earth, everything. Also, the money situation can change. Oops. Exactly. Because when your receiving increases, it increases in all areas. So it's really cool. Yeah, and I am very, very excited to come to Estonia. Thank you, Kaidi, for being such a great invitation. Thank you, Kerti, for being the beautiful translator that is doing that translation for all those into Estonian. And totally, Livia writes, life should not only be lived, it should be celebrated, and creatively enjoy every moment, be in contact with the body. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. And probably we come and jump into live more during before you come into
over the coming weeks as we come towards end of January.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, and have so enjoyable day and future with your bodies.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.